Election organisers confident of preparations. Urgent call to NCD voters. And 5 Mile residents want action on crime.
This is National EMTV News with Helen Sayer.
Good evening and thank you for joining me for Wednesday's news. Residents living along the 5 Mile to 6 Mile road have raised concerns on the number of criminal activities that is happening at the Jack Piddick Park Christmas lights. They say since the lights were switched on, the number of people being robbed and attacked by opportunists has increased. They are calling on authorities to look into the matter as it is getting out of hand.
During the day, the Jack Piddick Park is one of the safest places in Port Moresby. But in the night, it turns into a haven for opportunists who take advantage of the dark and attack city residents.
And it shouldn't be like that.
Innocent life look him knife na. Team one me come me scaling mosem. We got police, we got something we can prevent him one something we. Me bla ko ta mo mas longeno.
Just yesterday, following an announcement that security will be up in force, a woman was attacked and stabbed in the arm.
Astelo naitia, mi bla stalo eme ia nara la mara blumbla gorokaya. Em trangu em no golo light to em siraun lo side la pe and em salim lili waranas la kaino santin blem stape. Olay ne molukim light pinisya. All kamantape no got security o police was lo slape. So all kame ol chutim ol car natin na all kam golo market blem ol apim ol something number ol ksimna. Em la struggle wante molle mol apim knife mulkim slan blem straight. Na mara em chimbikla bagarab nem stop so.
The concerned residents say they want nothing more but security to be provided at all corners of the park and along the 5 Mile to 6 Mile road.
Safety blow you mean need more tight security or something.
Samla lighting law insalo. Jack Piddick too. Samla light good na samla enough light so put in more bright light. All mansa idle dark party now say causing trouble.
All NCD police mo around so ting light law no organismo santin good na manchim. Bagara samla lusim light finish le.
Almost provide the police come tamblo lo Jack Piddick Park come guantablo 6 Mile sarana about them.
Some suggested that the entertainment provided during the night be changed.
Ina governor gan osem stop him kind life band especially life band entertainment man want them some blossom weblo Christmas kind osem larimol man come preach so some lo gospel singers number lo come kisim ting lo man lo senisim pasin.
Meanwhile, the police have maintained they will beef up security along that area and other parts of the city this festive period. Stanley Over Jr., National EMTV News.
The Interdepartment Election Committee is confident that they are well in advance with preparations for the 2017 election. After their final meeting for this year, Committee Chairman Chief Secretary Isaac Lupari said the objective for the elections will not only be about ensuring a safe and secure polls, it will also be cost-effective.
While the Electoral Commission had to rush to meet a lot of preparation targets this year, the update of the electoral roll still remains as their highest priority.
The whole month of January will be dedicated to data updating. We will update data. The month of February is dedicated for objection period, is objection time. So the preliminary rolls will be displayed so people can go and object to the roll. And I hope to have the final roll printed by end of March.
He said NEC proposals for nomination fees to increase, separate running of national and LLG elections, and shortening the election period still remain as proposals until they have Parliament's approval.
At this stage, I don't know whether Parliament will pass that law or not, so I cannot say. So we'll still rely on the tentative date that was initially agreed or approved by the Governor General.
Another make or break factor for the elections is security. And with the police as the lead agency in election security, Commissioner Baki had some big announcements this afternoon, starting with a gun moratorium.
Guns moratorium will come into effect. That's going to be one of the strategies we will use to mitigate issues of threats as currently confronting us leading up to the elections.
With 10,600 personnel expected to work during the election period, this time authority will be decentralized to provincial and divisional commands.
That number also includes 500 correctional services officers who will be deployed to assist us and 500 Defence Force personnel that will assist the police. So the entire security force operations manpower is about 10,600 for the entire period of pre-deployment, election proper, post-election.
Chief Secretary Lupari also had some big announcements.
That every agencies who are going to be involved in supporting the Electoral Commissioner presents their work program. Fully costed. It's only on elections matters, nothing else related to elections. And these costs plans are then looked at in totality, and the overall plan is then developed.
PNG elections is one of the most expensive elections in the world, with the last election costing 800 million kina. Sarah Aupong, National EMTV News.
The electoral manager urges NCD residents to check their names on the electoral roll and register before Friday. Young eligible voters are urged to register as soon as possible, for this is an important contribution towards the country's growth.
NCD for the 2017 national elections is well over the time that we wanted to complete it now. We have about a few more days left. We will be calling off the work on this week Friday. That will be 16th, this week Friday, and by 17 and 18 during the weekend, we'll be doing up the finishing touches. Is that most people are not receptive to this, to the exercise we are doing. So much time had been wasted, so much resources, but I don't see a lot of people turning up at the enrollment centers to enroll. This will have a drastic effect on their participation during the polling time.
The Waigani Supreme Court has granted an application for appeal filed by convicted Western Governor Ati Wubiro, former provincial administrator Dr. Modowa Gumoy, and businessman Norman May. Chief Justice Sir Salamo Injia granted the decision after he ruled, and he was satisfied the three had an arguable case. He made the decision after the court was told that a critical finding was not considered when the verdict on their sentence was handed down. The three men are applying for a review of their 10-year sentence.
The three men were present in court when the decision was handed down today. They submitted through their lawyer, Goya Gillen, that there was an error in their verdict and are asking the courts to review their verdict. Mr. Gillen told the courts that the trio were found guilty of misappropriating 350,000 kina, but were given a sentence of misappropriating over 7 million kina. Mr. Gillen submitted that 35,000 from the 7 million was used for road construction, while 24,000 kina of the same money was used to purchase furniture for the provincial office. He also said a meeting had taken place on 28 March 2013, which was attended by members of both North and South Fly. Though he did not provide evidence of the meeting minutes, the Chief Justice said there is an arguable case because of a pay slip that shows that allowance of the meeting was paid 3 days before the meeting. The trio were found guilty by the Waigani National Court for conspiracy to defraud the state and misappropriation. They were sentenced to 10 years imprisonment by Justice Martini Pang in November. However, last month, the trio applied for bail on medical grounds. Their application for bails were refused by the Chief Justice, Sir Salamo Injia. An amended appeal will be made before the Supreme Court next week. Takla Gunga, National, EMTV News.
Improving access to financial services is a development challenge for the country. From the first National Financial Inclusion and Financial Literacy Strategy for the past 2 years, the Bank of Papua New Guinea and the Center for Excellence in Financial Inclusion has built on successful implementation. The second National Financial Inclusion Strategy was launched through a presentation to Prime Minister Peter O'Neill today, which will cater for the next 4 years.
Since there is a boost in economic growth, rural areas in the country are in need of financial access points such as branches, ATM, FPOS and agents. The National Financial Inclusion is a roadmap that is providing financial services to the unbanked population. The second National Financial Inclusion Strategy 2016 to 2020 was launched through a presentation of the strategy booklet from BPNG and CEFI to Prime Minister Peter O'Neill today.
One area we are very proud of is that the recent launching of the SME policy. As many of you know, we are trying to encourage Papua New Guineans.
The purpose of the strategy is to ensure that the people have access, quality and usage of financial services. Under Vision 2050, the National Financial Inclusion Strategy will help empower women, children and SMEs in rural areas. O'Neill says strategy like this will open up opportunities for the country. He says government has already invested to see development taking place.
We have to work with our partners, and we've been working together with them, as the Assistant Governor mentioned. Over the years, collaboration with our donor partners is so outstanding, and that's for success. And that's why we have record a number of people attending and having to know how to look after finance or look after their monies.
Bakani says the other sectors will also support this strategy in order for people to have access to financial services. Sawato Hambu, National EMTV News.
Ahead in the news, plans underway for an industrial park in Vanimo, graduation day for a remote school in Rigo District, and 3 governors of the PNG LNG project sign an MOU. Those stories when we come back. Welcome back. Treasury Minister Patrick Pruach yesterday signed a Memorandum of Understanding for the establishment of the China PNG Comprehensive Industrial Park in Vanimo, West Sepik Province. Under the MOU, investors from China plan to build a series of processing and manufacturing plants. The agreement covers projects including large-scale processing of timber products, fisheries, cassava and starch products, and tropical spices at the Green River Industrial Park.
Treasurer Pruach and Sandown Governor Amkat Mai signed the MOU together with representatives from the 2 major Chinese investment groups, namely Shenzhen River Founders and the Metallurgical Corporation of China. Chairman of Shenzhen River Founders Limited, Li Mu, said the Vanimo Industrial Park will be developed in phases at an eventual cost of $3.8 billion and an annual output of $3.1 billion. Zheng Menxing, president of the Metallurgical Corporation of China, or MCC, another key partner in the framework agreement, said MCC had been closely involved in the transformation of Shenzhen City from a fishing village 40 years ago into China's 3rd largest city of 20 million people. MCC, which operates PNG's $2 billion Ramu nickel mine, is expected to be the main contractor for the Vanimo Industrial Park. The industrial park is expected to bring benefits like improved transport links, power supply, and create thousands of sustainable jobs for locals. Governor Amkat Mai told the signing ceremony that PNG and China would be able to leverage each other's resources and capacity to make this vision a reality. Earlier, Shenzhen's Vice Mayor, Mr. Ai Shufeng, said he was pleased at the rapid progress made since his visit in July to Port Moresby because there was enormous potential for PNG to develop and many areas of potential cooperation between the Shenzhen municipal government and PNG. Deli Waigeno, National, MTV News.
A remote community in the jungles of Rigo District, Central Province, achieved an educational milestone last Friday with the passing out of its first batch of grade 8 students. Students, teachers and families of Dake Vakomana village reveled in pride when high school placing statistics revealed the 17 graduates did exceptionally well, with 12 securing placing at Kwikila High School, whilst 5 will be attending Kwikila Vocational Training Centre next year.
Dakeva Komana is among a group of villages in inland Rigo which has seen little to no development due to its isolation and poor road conditions. It is only accessible by well-conditioned four-wheel drive vehicles and takes up to 7 hours to reach on a good day. As seen in most remote villages, there is a momentous brain drain effect in the community and its population of about 1,000. Skilled professionals and students inevitably move to settle in urban areas, seeking employment or educational opportunities. However, last Friday was a proud moment for the community as the Dakeva Komana Primary School graduated its first batch of grade 8 students on a rather successful note since the school's establishment in 1982. It has taken a lot of determination and sacrifice by students, parents and teachers, and one committed principal to make this possible.
We have to come here and sacrifice ourselves.
Because of the distance between villages, the school built its own boarding house to accommodate students from other villages whilst attending classes.
So many of the students who struggle here, they also go to other schools to at least have better access to education. So this I'm also urging the government, especially our member Rigo MP Anopala, give the road to this far, and then we can also transport our goods and to the local market.
The principal says there are hopes to improve the school and include more grades in the future. Invited as the guest speaker of the ceremony was Senior National and Supreme Court Judge Justice Les Varananu, who grew up and attended his first levels of education in the area in the 1950s. As a living testament of success hailing from the small and remote community, the senior judge encouraged the students to dream big and make the necessary sacrifices to achieve those dreams.
So I made a special effort to come here because of the importance of the graduation to the parents and to the students, because I'm from here, and being where I am today, I thought it was something, like a impetus for them to, and encouragement for them to, strive.
Justice Les Varananu, who was accompanied by his wife and son, also highlighted the need for basic services needed by the villages to improve living standards. Vanessa Knight, National, MTV News.
Guinea-Goada, in partnership with City Pharmacy Limited, yesterday graduated 28 residents of New Guinea Village in the 6 Mile area from a 2-week-long financial literacy course. The program, aimed at giving participants a better understanding as to what it means to be financially literate, is expected to be the force behind their drive to excel beyond the program. Guinea-Goada Foundation Manager Pastor Mike Field, in attendance at the small graduation ceremony, urged the 28 graduates to take their place and be part of the future.
The message in yesterday's ceremony came from Guinea-Goada's Foundation Manager, Pastor Mike Field. Through humor integrated with biblical events, Pastor Field gave a strong message of encouragement for the graduates to change their mindset and to be part of the future, regardless of age.
But I'm stopping inside on life belong, you mean this place switch and switch belong education, learning. Some people believe belong all education now learning, and some something belong all lili picking in or yampla, but I believe belong Guinea-Goada education and belong all together. As we say, we don't.
Bonnie Lupai is one of the 28 participants of the financial literacy program run by Guinea-Goada. Yesterday's graduation ceremony was hosted at her home, where the program was also held over the past 2 weeks.
Mi ham mas to mas lo joining des la school because emitit si mi good lining mi good lo passing block pricing costing na finding good pla location lo putim business blow me.
Guinea Foundation over the years has successfully trained close to 15,000 individuals in various communities in Port Moresby and in Lae. With City Pharmacy Limited on board, aiding in financial support, adult education has been made accessible in local communities.
It is about time that changes must come in when we bring in programs into the villages or the communities that we live in. So the new mindset or the new changes that come about brings people up to the next level.
Guinea Gorda's on-job training and employment officer Lynn Kawi explained how the participants' training are made useful after their training. She said Guinea Gorda continues to support trainees with on-job experience under the umbrella of Port Moresby Chamber of Commerce. Lorraine Gabina, National EMTV News.
Bulolo MP and Deputy Opposition Leader Sam Basil has called on the national government to provide additional funds for universities to end the academic year. The universities were forced to reopen when the government promised them additional funding to complete the 2016 academic year. Basil's comments come after Minister for Higher Education Francis Marus said the government is critically low on funds, so universities need to improvise. Basil said it is irresponsible for the government minister to make such statements. All three universities have been operating on borrowed funds in the hope that the government would release to them the promised funding to complete their respective academic years. Three governors in the PNG LNG project have signed an agreement to allow the option given by the state to finance the 4.27 Croton equity. Despite accepting the opportunity from the state, Southern Highlands Governor William Powie said other options for finances remain open. Governor Powie was backed by Hela Governor Francis Potape and Central Governor Kila Hauda.
The three governors held a joint press conference this afternoon in Port Moresby to announce their stand for the 4.27 Croton equity shares. Under the UBSA and LBBSA signed in Kokopo in 2009, the leaders believe the state has given the best solution for its financing, which will have all stakeholders on the same page.
And we are now signaling the state entity, the PNG Petroleum Holdings, to facilitate the mechanism for us to start drilling down and facilitating the necessary arrangements for us and the stakeholders to participate in the acquisition of the 4.27% process.
The announcement comes 8 days prior to the elapsing of the deadline of December 31st, 2016. Hela Governor Francis Potape says despite the current economic challenges in the country, he believes the decision is worthy.
We see that the vendor financing is the right option. It's the right option that is available now. But if there is any financer who's willing to finance us and come much better than the proposal put together by the government, then the government said, yes, you can then exit. You can then exit. Whereas if we are with the bank, we can exit, we'll be locked in.
Central Governor Kil Hauda says the 4.27 share is rightfully for the people and doing the right thing is in the best interest of the people.
And today we put our hands up and we are saying, let's move. This is an opportunity we cannot give away. This is our people we represent. And we must take a decision, a bold decision we've taken today.
The governors clearly stated that the decision draws within the jurisdiction of the UBSA signed in Kokopo. Jagla Pava Jr. National EMTV News.
Hela Governor Francis Potape is calling on the removal of the police hierarchy in Hela. Governor Potape said the current situation is manageable if police in Tari follow orders to maintain law and order. He said police know warlords who have access to unlicensed rifles but have made no attempt to make arrests. Governor Potape also called on Correctional Service Minister Jimmy Simatab to reopen the Hagwa Provincial Jail.
If you are a policeman, you do your job. State of emergency is the last thing that any policeman or any governor or any member of parliament will call for. We have the police system, we have the court system, but we don't have the jail system. When they arrest people, where do you lock them up? In the police station, not jail, So they're thrown out into the society and they kill again. So the Howard jail must be open.
The International Food Corporation has donated 82 cartons of canned fish to the Food and Supply Department of Lace Engau Hospital as part of its Christmas presents. The canned fish will be used to feed about 400 inpatients at the hospital. The cartons of fish cost about 20,000 kina. Quality Control Manager Mohammed Yusuf says this is an annual program carried out at the end of the financial year. Apart from this initiative, IFC also assists communities as part of their social responsibility. And now looking at our finance news, the kina closed unchanged at 0.3150 US dollars in the interbank markets. At Bank South Pacific, your kina was buying 0.3075 US dollars, 0.4081 Australian dollars, 0.2869 euro and 35.14 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold, coffee and cocoa closed higher while copper closed the day lower. Crude oil and copper closed lower while palm oil closed the day higher. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed at 114.78 points higher. The ASX is trading at 39.57 points higher, and the All Ordinaries is trading at 38.97 points higher. National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to the news. The PNGDF soldiers were acknowledged for their service this year during the Commanding Officers End-of-Year Parade at Tarama Barracks. During their address, the soldiers were briefed on their achievements during the 2016 year of operation. 5 companies participated in the parade.
Along with the acknowledgement from the commanding officer, the soldiers were also briefed of the accomplishments for this year.
I would say the Company of Excellence concept, it is working. You will see that the soldiers, young soldiers are switch on. When you give an order, they're willing to go and then do it and accomplish. So we have done 2 Company of Excellence in Bravo Company and Charlie Company. And also the U.S. Marines for the first time came to Papua New Guinea and then trained with the 1st Pacific Islands Regiment and for that matter Papua New Guinea Defense Force.
From the Color Party, Color Ensign, LTT Kiano with Color Escorts.
Lieutenant Colonel Napio says there were some other areas worthy of mention.
Starting with the 1st and the 2nd Battalions. And next year we will be looking at ships company as per direction by headquarters PNGDF through Chief of Post Preparation. So that's what's going to happen.
Next year will be another year with new challenges to be faced. Lieutenant Colonel Napio says he believes there will be more achieved in coming years. Although this parade signifies the end of PNGDF operations for 2016, the soldiers will continue to protect the national borders during the festive season. Gaile Kivali, National EMTV News.
While most children find protection in their families and communities, some children are more vulnerable to abuse. More than 130 child sexual offences were reported this year in Lae, and 25 arrests were made for sexual penetration. The statistics were reported from the Sexual Offences Squad at the Lae Police Station.
Children have the right to protection from abuse, neglect and discrimination. However, the child protection system in PNG suffers from a number of barriers. The Sexual Offences Squad from the Criminal Investigation Division in Lae stated that 138 child sexual offences were reported this year.
33 cases of rape were reported, 9 cases reported for attempted rape, and 14 cases were reported for sexual assault. Furthermore, 3 cases for incest were reported and 1 case for sodomy. For sexual penetration alone, 78 cases were reported at the Lae Police Station, with 25 arrests made.
This means the others are either dealt with out-of-court settlements or compensation.
In some cases, the suspects are still on the run and not yet charged by police. And in some cases, the complainants just let go and probably not pursued or followed up with their complaints for reasons known to themselves. Julie Badui Owa, National EMTV News, Leh.
Turning overseas, U.S. President Barack Obama called for a review of cyber attacks and foreign intervention in the 2016 election. He said reports were to be delivered before he leaves office on January 20 so that such attacks can be prevented in the future. In October, the U.S. government formally accused Russia of a campaign of cyber attacks against Democratic Party organizations ahead of the November 8 presidential election. And Obama has said he warned Russian President Vladimir Putin about consequences for the attacks.
The reason that I have called for a review is really to just gather all the threads of the investigations, the intelligence work that has been done over many months, and put it in a single document that can be shared with members of Congress, relevant intelligence agencies. They can be shared with the transition team so that they understand what exactly happened, and so that the public and our elected representatives going forward can find ways to prevent this kind of interference from having an impact on the elections in the future.
Chukai Sports is next. PNG Kumul's David Mead and Nene McDonald named in the World All-Stars team. Details when we return.
Chukai Sports.
Welcome to Chukai Sports. PNG Kumul's captain David Mead and Kumul center Nene McDonald have been named in the World All-Stars team. Mal Meninga announced his team this week to take on the indigenous All-Stars.
The World All-Stars team is made up of players representing their heritage. Latrell Mitchell, Jake Friend, Jack Bird, Moses Ambai and Adam Elliott are some of the players named who will make their All-Stars debut. Mal Meninga said he was excited by the opportunity to coach the World All-Stars team for the first time, with many of the World All-Stars players also new to the team and experience. This will be the 7th Harvey Norman Rugby League All-Stars occasion. Laurie Daly, who will coach his 4th consecutive Indigenous All-Stars team, said he was pleased to see the game being shared with a new audience and fan base. The World All-Stars team won their first title this year and will be out to defend it next year. The Harvey Norman Rugby League All-Stars match will be played on Friday, 10th February 2017 at McDonald Jones Stadium in Newcastle. Elijah Levet, National EMTV Sports.
The Southern Region 9's tournament played its semi-final round today at the National Football Stadium. EMTV Sports caught up with tournament director Ivan Ravu, who said playing the game in a world-class facility helps in raising the level of competition.
Top 32 teams played in their preliminary rounds today, with each team playing 2 games each. Top 16 went on to playing in the Cup and Plate division in the semi-final rounds, with the winner of the match proceeding into the Cup final. The second 16 played in the semi-final round for the Bowl and Pennant division, with the winner securing a spot in the Bowl division, while losers from the 2 top 16 teams played in the Plate and Pennant division. Tournament director Ivan Ravu said the competition has attracted teams from around the region, even registering new teams to play in this year's competition.
We do have a lot of teams, a lot of new teams. Teams like Babukori, or normally volleyball, basketball areas. And there's from Mailu, where rugby league is not known to be the sport up there. We've got quite a few teams there. And some of the big teams have withdrawn. However, a lot of the players have joined up with other villages in the region to take part. So even though some of the teams that did not participate last year, players have moved to other clubs.
He said having to host the competition in a world-class facility is a big bonus to the tournament in lifting the standard of the game.
You know, a lot of players here are from a rural areas. Probably about 80% are from the rural areas, and playing on a venue like this is an opportunity that they will treasure for a long time. I know if they come back next year, they'll be playing again. But just to be part of the team that is playing here, it's a big excitement for them.
16 teams from today's matches will go into playing in the finals tomorrow, with 4 teams each to play in each division of cup, plate, bowl and pennant. The winner will take 10,000 kina in the cup division, while 7,000 in the bowl division, 5,000 for the plate and 4,000 for the pennant winner and runner-up incentives. Godwin Eki, National EMTV Sports.
Rovanama, the 2015 winners of the Southern Region 9's tournament, are back to defend their title. 72 teams in the Southern Region have taken part in the tournament, with 30 in the finals round. Rovanama coach Chris Enara said the boys are looking forward to retaining their title.
Defending champions of the 2015 Southern Region 9's tournament, Rovanama are coming back strong to defend its title. Head coach Chris Enara said the boys have proved too strong on the first 3 days of the competition, making their way up to the semis. Tomorrow the boys will be fighting back on the field as they get their toughest warriors to guard the gate.
We can't be overconfident. We're just trying to approach a game at a time. So, you know, yesterday we cleared our pool games, so now we're in the semis. So we're just trying to take a game at a time. So slowly get in there, but you know, like I said, yesterday we are a bit scrappy. I mean, so I'm just hoping that we hit our peak at the right time.
Proving to be one of the strongest in the competition since the inception of the tournament in 2003, it was from this team that former SP hunter Lawrence Tiu was produced.
Lawrence is a big loss for us. You know, he's actually the core of the main player of the team, our success as well too. But you know, like I said, each discipline, you know, we try to instill a lot of discipline. At the same time, you know, we try to teach the players the right attitude and mentality to, you know, especially approaching the game. So like they say, you know, nothing wins the game. It's all about hard work and training, you know. So that's where we base our, most of our emphasis on.
Winning 7 titles of the last 13 tournaments held in the country, Enara said maintaining the win is one thing. Win or lose, the team is humbled to show great sportsmanship.
Oh, we're a good sportsman side, you know, win, lose, you know, we accept, you know, whatever the result is, but, you know, like I said, we try to give it our very best, and if we lose, you know, we know that the better team has won, and then if we win, then probably we are the better side. That's why, so to be a good sportsman team, you know, that's what we try to preach to the players. As win or lose, you got to accept it as a sportsman.
Godwin Eki, National EMTV Sports.
Chukai Sports continues after the break. Don't go away.
Chukai Sports.
Welcome back to Chukai Sports. To rugby, the Capital Rugby Union is hoping to improve their competitive structure heading into the new year. CRU President Jacob Anga, in a news conference held today, has said that while the nation's biggest rugby association had struggled throughout much of 2016, they were looking forward to bigger things in the new year.
Strengthening the code in the city and being more inclusive is one of the first goals that the Capital Rugby Union Board is hoping to achieve for the new year. That approach, along with the inclusion of both a schools program and youth initiatives, are part of the planned structure for 2017. President of Capital Rugby Union Jacob Anga has said that despite the shortcomings this year, his board has used these trials as a learning curve to improve.
Against all obstacles, this board has delivered beyond reasonable doubt and beyond expectations, especially if you try to look at the value of rugby itself. You isolate the sponsorship, you isolate all the blinks that comes with it, but when you look at rugby itself, I think this board deserves a pat on the back for delivering rugby.
Part of that learning process has come about after considering the work already done in the city of Lae. The Scrum program, a concept that the CRU is also hoping to adapt to the nation's capital setting.
There's a lot more room for improvements for us going forward, and which we will actually look at it when we sit down for a year-end review in the next couple of days. But in saying that also, I also want to say thank you to the PNG Rugby for supporting us, and we will obviously continue to work with them as a union going forward.
I'll also mention the input that the newly elected PNG RFU board have had in their decision-making process.
To be president for nothing. I'm here with obvious goals. Judge me and my team according to the goals we've set. We want to be known for the results on the field. We aren't here just to occupy positions to look important. That is irrelevant. What is important is our vision to make Papua New Guinea world-class in rugby.
There were, however, setbacks, such as no regular competition throughout the year and a financial report which will be tabled at a later date.
There is nothing that goes under the radar without being really looked at and being really taught how to do it well. So that this is our aims going forward for the year coming forward for 2017.
With the new year fast approaching, there will still be questions regarding this much-needed information, with Anga giving assurance that a report would soon be presented to all relevant parties. Jeremy Mogi, National TV Sports.
Football is truly a worldwide sport. Though not all play football, there are those who are die-hard followers. And even Papua New Guinea has also got its fair share of fanfare display when the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup graced our shores. Here is a story of a 6-year-old Afghanistan boy who loves football and more so has a favorite hero at heart, Barcelona's great Lionel Messi.
It was a dream come true for Mortaza Ahmadi when he met Lionel Messi himself. Mortaza's story captured the hearts of many worldwide earlier this year after pictures of the 6-year-old boy in a football shirt made out of plastic bag with the number 10 and Messi's name on it went viral online. For Mortaza's family, that was the most affordable jersey they can get for him. And the boy wore it like a true football fan he is. The middle of the year came to his family in a drastic way and they had to migrate to a new location. The family fled to Pakistan, and that was where the 4-time Ballon d'Or winner and Barcelona's great Lionel Messi himself sent Mortaza 2 signed jerseys and later organized for the 6-year-old to go all the way to Barcelona for a meet. The little boy got his wish, but Messi had one more special gift for Mortaza. Soon afterwards, the boy got to walk hand in hand with the football star onto the field prior to one of Barcelona's matches. He was also given the opportunity to place the ball at the center. Dini Rose Raiko, National EMTV Sports.
And that ends Chukai Sports. The weather details when we come back. Stay tuned.
True Kai Sports.
The weather details are proudly brought to you by Dulux Weather Shield. Worth doing with Dulux.
Looking at the weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow in the southern region, shower or two with possible evening thunderstorms tonight, but mostly fine tomorrow. Rain with occasional thunderstorms in Daru. Some showers with evening thunderstorms in Kerema. Showers and rain with evening thunderstorms in Alotau and few showers with possible evening thunderstorms in Popondetta. In the Moresby region, some showers in Lae, mostly fine though partly cloudy in Medang. Possible evening thunderstorms, then mostly fine in Wewak and a few shower or two in Vanimo. In the New Guinea Islands region, some showers in Lorengau and Kavieng. Rain with occasional thunderstorms in Kokopo, Rabaul and Buka. Showers and rain with occasional thunderstorms in Kimbe. And in the Highlands region, some showers with evening thunderstorms and morning fog in all centers.
The weather details are proudly brought to you by Dulux Weather Shield, with doing with Dulux.
Now recapping our main stories for tonight. Election organizers confident of preparations, urgent call to NCD voters, and 5 Mile residents want action on crime. And that's how it is this Wednesday, the 14th of December 2016. On behalf of the entire news team, pleasant viewing. Good night.